Now let's transition into Fort Worth, right? With just the age of the getting younger and younger and younger and younger, right?
It really is dangerous in Fort Worth right now, man. And that's why I say, man, the promoting of gang stuff and the promoting of OG, this, that, and the other that's not what's happening, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I don't promote that.
Right.
I don't call myself that. That's just a title I've been given. You know, so that promoting that gang stuff, man, we need to be promoting positivity. You know, we need to be promoting togetherness. That way these youngsters, they can see, you know, because them looking at the social media and listening to these songs, and that's what they think is how they're supposed to live. But they not telling them the other side to what comes with that, the consequences, you know what I mean? You can get, or you can get a life sentence, or you can get the death penalty, you know what I'm saying? So they just glamorizing it, you know what I mean? And that ain't what's happening.
Let me ask you this. What do you think can be done to steer that generation back around? Do you feel like they can still be saved?
I'm not gonna just throw them to the curb, but it may be beyond saving, but we still have to try, you know what I mean? Because they looked at us the same way, you know, they didn't want us around. The older generation before us, they didn't want us around. And the problem is we probably can't save them, but the problem is us turning our back on them. That's the problem.
So let me ask you this. Let's say it's a little dude, it's a little homie out the north side, right? If you knew a little 16-year-old who was toting and was, really sliding and all of that, like what would you even say to him? Like do you think you could get through to him with you having the title that you have?
Yeah, if I could. Yeah, I believe I could. Now, whoever he's hanging around, that's a different subject. But as far as pulling it by the coattail and giving it to him raw, no glamorizing, and giving him choices, letting him know he has choices,
right,
and helping him with those choices, I believe I can steer him right.
I think what has to happen, bro, is we have to make, and you said it with the rap music too, but we have to make something other than that image, like the desirable thing that our young kids want to be.
That's right, because it's cool to have a job. It's cool to be a doctor. It's cool to pursue whatever it is you want to pursue. The sky's the limit, you know? See, when we was coming up, our minds were backwards. We was plugged in backwards. We thought the squirrel working on the job, and that wasn't cool. We thought the person out there with the money, the cars, the clothes, the women, we thought that was cool. In this day and time, the person with the job is cool, because he get to come home every night. You know, he get to live his life. The people out there in the streets, they don't know if they gonna make it home. You know, so yeah, we just gotta glamorize better images for them.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's okay to look at a person with a job and say, I don't want that. It's okay to look at a person with a job and say, man, I don't want to work for somebody.
Right.
It's okay. That's okay. That part of it is okay.
That's right.
You sell dope. You got an entrepreneurial spirit.
That's right.
You don't want to go work for nobody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If you are a soldier on the streets,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You stand for something.
Right.
You know what I mean? You committed to something.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And all those principles in the business world would make you a millionaire.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I see the positive in it, and I just kind of see that some of that, bro, I think it's just in our DNA. Like, it's also weird to me that when I started getting out into the world, everybody that's successful, the way that I want to be successful, they all dropped out of school.
Okay.
The difference is they didn't get into the streets. They just went into whatever field they wanted to. But they dropped out of school too. They also said, man, what am I doing here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not wrong that you feel like you don't belong here, because some people, and I agree, as somebody who was a school nut, I love school, but it's programming. You know what I'm saying? And some people realize that. So just because you dropped out or you in the streets don't mean you a bad person, or don't mean.
No, we're not saying that at all.
Right.
Just whatever it is that you like to do, pursue it. Just pursue it. And don't succumb to peer pressure. If your partner's hostile, oh, so what? Pursue you. You the only person can look out for you.
My next question, just going back to Fort Worth, is with the getting younger and younger, where the bleep do they get these, bro? I'm gonna ask you, when you were you active at 16, 17?
Yes.
Okay. Were you allegedly toting? Allegedly,
Right.
Like maybe yes, maybe no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What kind of were around back then?
The AKs, SKSs, but I kind of see where you're going.
Right.
They got these kind of guns that come off video games.
Bro.
And I'm like you, who is buying these kids?
Right. My question becomes, do you think it's more dangerous now today than it used to be?
Yeah, it's way more dangerous today. Because they're not just tripping on, we were tripping on colors. They not really just tripping on colors. They tripping on whatever. However they feeling that day, they tripping on it, you know. And it's far easier to get in this day and time for anything, you know. So yeah, they are way more dangerous than the prior generations.
Right. Okay. So boom.